Welcome to Football for Fun. I'm depressed.
And I'm delusional.
Yeah, and I'm depressed because I am a Houston Texans fan.
And speak for yourself. I'm a Panthers fan, and we're winning the Super Bowl next year.
So maybe, yeah, that's definitely delusional. That's definitely something that you would say as a delusional person. Yeah, so welcome to our show, Football for Fun. Just to give you a little bit of like context, we're yet another football podcast that you are more than welcome to enjoy. So, yeah, basically, it's what the name indicates. There's a loud motorcycle in the background, but anyway, we'll move past that. Basically, what the name indicates, football for fun. We're just two guys. We're two like average fans, I guess you could say, and we're just basically like we enjoy talking about football just among ourselves anyway, and we are basically doing that and just just sharing it with you guys. Yeah, I guess really before we go into, would you say that sums it up good, Isaac?
No.
Okay. What should I have done better?
No, we got it. We got it. You could have done better, but it's fine. Rookie mistakes and all that.
Okay. Well, we are leaving that on the show. I don't know. How's it going, Isaac? How are you doing?
Well, I'm a Panthers fan, so I'm not doing well overall. But
yeah.
We're winning the Super Bowl next season, so it's okay.
That's good. I mean, I'm the depressed one. I mean, because at least you guys had chances to make the playoffs, but we don't. So, all right, well, football for fun, and as we discussed before before we hit record, we're gonna keep our story a mystery, like our fandom story mystery. So if you want to learn more about our fandom and help our channel grow, just subscribe on whatever podcast outlet we are on as well. And let's talk about the Super Bowl, Isaac. So you watched it, right?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
I watched every minute of it. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So the Super Bowl was in my opinion, it was a good game. A lot of people think it was I don't know necessarily rigged, but that the refs did the Eagles dirty in the end and things like that. But overall, I thought it was a very good game. I'm not sure about all-time Super Bowl, but what are your thoughts, Isaac? I know it's a very broad question, but what did you take away from the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's up there. It was one of the better Super Bowls I've seen. Probably the best one in recent memory.
Yeah, definitely
I
recent
offense,
memory.
So all the points was great. All the points they scored, fantastic to watch.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
The flag at the end maybe kind of soured it a bit, but it was the right call in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I think part of what resonated with me just with the Super Bowl was all the storylines, even leading up to it, there was a lot of trash talk, especially even going back the AFC Championship. The Bengals were doing all this yapping, and it's even the mayor of Cincinnati, and that just kind of backfired. And so there was just maybe the Super Bowl there wasn't as much trash talk. But I know the fans are crazy, and it's just it's apparently not safe. It's apparently not safe to go to an Eagles game if you're a fan of the opposing team, literally. So are the Panthers playing the Eagles anytime soon?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
we don't play them next year.
Probably
thankfully.
not. Yeah. Well, there's a game in Philly.
Sure,
Panthers versus Eagles in Philly. You should go.
I'm not going to that. No shot. No shot. No.
So
I value my life a little too much to go to that.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, no, I thought so the Super Bowl was very interesting because the Eagles kind of worked the Chiefs in the first half. I think we probably both agree on that. And the Chiefs were down 10 at halftime, I believe, and Mahomes was extremely hurt. There's obviously just the clip of him I don't know, he was just in pain. I even saw him lay his head on the athletic trainer or something like that. And at that point, I honestly thought it was over. Yes, playoff Chad is just kind of a meme, I guess, where Chad Henne comes in clutch and but honestly,
anything
I think
it's possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I think if Mahomes had left, it's that was the whole suspense. It's like, I don't know. Like, I guess we don't really watch the halftime show, right? I mean, you don't, right? Like, I don't really watch
No,
it
I did
either.
not.
Yeah, but
not.
like that was a long halftime because like you just like don't know what Mahomes' status is, and then like when he does play, he's still kind of like wobbly. Like he even said like in interviews and such that like I think he said he couldn't like cut left or right when he ran because of that ankle. So whenever he ran, like that big scramble he had, I think at some point it had to be like straight line speed and. Yeah, they basically came back. A bunch of Chiefs players were like wide open, like in the end zone, and it's just like, yeah.
That was great play calling. Really, that's what it came down to.
Yeah, it was.
Regard.
It was great play. Yeah, it was great play calling. I also thought the defensive play calling was very was very good. I think Steve Spagnuolo is a very good defensive coordinator, but I know he's been doing a lot of talking.
He's so underrated.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
about all the top defensive coordinators, his name doesn't come up enough.
Yeah, and I know I think he failed as a head coach. I want to say with the St. Louis Rams, but like, I think you could compare him to like a Vic Fangio, say, to where like he's a real good coordinator. He just may not be like the head coach, but like, yeah, I definitely would say he's like underrated. Because not only does he has 3 rings, I think, because I think he was the defensive coordinator for the Giants when they beat the 17-0 Patriots, and like that team was just stacked. Yeah, like they had Randy Moss, and they were just like, so yeah, he's clearly like very good and qualified for his job. But yeah, anyway, I know I've been doing like a lot of talking about like my thoughts on the Super Bowl, but like, do you have anything to add, Isaac?
I mean, you basically summed it up. It was a fantastic game. I would add about Mahomes. We saw him go down. We saw him hobbling around. I think we all knew he was going to play, right? Like, nobody doubted he was going to come back in the third quarter.
Yeah, the question might be,
he was not going to exit that game.
Is he like 80% or 50%? But I would agree with that. Like, it did look a little bit like concerning when like, so I thought when he laid his head on the athletic trainer, that almost looked like he was like, now it seems insulting to say, but it's like he's giving up, or it's just like, not that, but it's just like, almost hopeless, but like
a moment of weakness.
Yeah, exactly. Because like he's very tough, I guess, and it's just like, which I feel like quarterbacks don't give enough credit for that. Like anyway, they're obviously very good. Like
football players in general don't get enough credit for that.
Yeah, they're like extremely tough. Like I mean, some of them they're gonna be like more finesse or whatnot, but they're also just like very tough. I mean, yeah, as you said, every football player like. NFL player.
Maybe not every player.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like have some level of toughness to like survive in the NFL for sure. I mean, like, we don't know this from experience, but it's an extremely brutal sport. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, was that basically? Were there any other angles you wanted to like discuss? I guess there's like the ref call and like. Because there was a question on this.
We gotta discuss that.
Yeah, because someone did ask this, and we did have like a Q&A in our little circles, shall we say, of like, fans of us already, even though as of now we haven't recorded a podcast. But basically, Isaac, did the refs ruin the game? And why or why not?
Well, define ruined, right? I think they soured it. That was a fantastic game, and to end it like that was kind of disappointing to anyone watching. Except Chiefs fans. I think they were pretty pleased.
Oh no, yeah, they're just like, they're like flag the Eagles on every play. We just want our Lombardi. So,
obviously.
Yeah, so you'd say like
it was the right call, I thought.
Yeah,
definitely.
So why do you think it was soured if you think it was the right call?
I mean, it's just anticlimactic, really.
No, I get
a very
that.
Exciting game, and just to end because of a penalty and then an easy field goal.
So
very meh.
Let me ask you this, and try not to be biased. Do you think Rams Saints, that pass interference no call, was ruined? Like, not sour, was it ruined?
Oh yeah. That was probably the worst call I've ever seen.
Okay, so basically, for it to be ruined, it has to be like egregious. Whereas like with the holding call, it's like maybe he didn't have to call, but he kind of did, so it's like anticlimactic. Yeah, I thought
you had to call that one.
Right, you're talking about Rams Saints.
Yeah, you absolutely had to call that one.
Yeah, and for the audience, the reason I
Like,
told
same
him not
Steelers.
the reason I told him not to be biased is because he's a Panthers fan, so he hates his division rivals with a passion. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say I thought the ending was a little bit anticlimactic. Not even necessarily like the reffing call, but just like the fact that the Chiefs, like, I guess it was all set up with that Kadarius Toney like punt return, which by the way, that was some addition by the Chiefs. Like, I don't think we knew much about.
That was a steal. That wasn't. An
Oh,
addition.
it was. What was the draft
Addition is
compensation?
an understatement.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I don't think it was a whole lot.
Probably not even like a 2 or 3. Like, because I think like I don't know, a lot of receivers from the Giants just bust. Cough, Kenny Galladay cough. But like he just kind of found his footing, and like he could make a case as like wide receiver 1, like in Kansas City. Like, don't you think he's gonna be better than like Juju Smith-Schuster in like a year or two? Like Juju's fine,
Probably next
but like
year.
yeah, as Andy Reid said, he runs faster on his TikTok clips than he does like in practice.
Yeah.
So
yes.
anyway, no, like, yeah, it's also interesting that like the Giants traded Toney to the Chiefs, and they also cut Bradbury and put him on the Eagles. And Bradbury's basically the player who cost them the Super Bowl. So like, the Giants are clearly up to something. But no, just to get back on track, I thought that just the ending was a little bit anticlimactic. Like, not necessarily. Like, I was hoping it would come down to like one play. Like, I remember like no, Matt might have been like, because I remember like the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl in 18 it would have been. It did come down to like a Hail Mary. I guess this one did, but it was just like I think he tripped on some.
That was a pitiful Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you hope it comes down to something like. Now, I guess it's very hard to like just curate a perfect Super Bowl ending, but like it's like, you know, final play of the game, they're like on the 15-yard line, they're down 5 points, so they have to throw and they have to go for the touchdown. You hope for something like that, but like at least
you want the drama.
Exactly. At least it wasn't like Bucks Chiefs, you know, like that Super Bowl, like and like I love Tom Brady, but that was like not that fun to watch. But yeah, I think so about the actual call, I don't know. I think it's just like, because refs don't like, because some people will make the argument that like, oh, he didn't call something like, you know, 3 quarters ago and he's going to do it now. Like, refs don't think about it. They just call what they see. So like,
right.
I do think it was the right.
That's a dumb argument.
I do think it was the right call. There was something very interesting I've heard, which is that basically how the Chiefs outsmarted the Eagles is that so the Eagles are wearing white uniforms, I believe, and so the Chiefs, I think Bill Belichick did this when they played the Rams. The Chiefs wore white gloves so that holding was less obvious. And so it's just little things like that just these experienced excuse me, that these experienced coaches know. But yeah, anyway, I guess speaking of which, this is kind of like, we didn't really like plan this, but like obviously Andy Reid is like established. He has 2 rings, and you know, just like the whole curse of like he never won the big game is like over. He's probably not the greatest coach of all time. That probably still goes to Bill Belichick, but like he's clearly pretty good. But what do you think of?
I put him top 5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But what do you think of Sirianni? Like, do you think that like he's still going to be like a great coach? Do you think he's just fine, or like what are your thoughts on him?
Oh man, I don't know. He's an interesting case. I feel like maybe Jalen makes him. You know, I have that feeling. I think a lot of Jalen's development didn't come down as much to him as it did to the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach. Just from what I've heard, as a Panthers fan, his team recruited both of them.
Interesting.
I feel like it was mostly Shane Steichen as the offensive coordinator who kind of molded Jalen Hurts. But also Jalen Hurts was already very, very good. People just didn't really believe it. Yeah.
Like Shane Steichen, you know, he like, and we'll talk about like the coaching hires here in a second, but like he left for the Colts, so it'll be interesting. Like, it's like Josh Allen kind of like, you know, went down a little bit when Brian Daboll left, but yeah, I think like I'd probably say like the same type. I think with like Nick Sirianni, like it's not entirely obvious like with a lot of great coaches, they have a clear strength. Like Andy Reid is play calling. Like Bill Belichick, he's a defensive mastermind. Like Shanahan, it's play calling, but like a very different type. Like I'm not sure what Nick Sirianni is great at, if that makes sense. Well, just on a macro level, he's a great coach. Like he's probably a top 32 coach, but like I'm just like not sure. Like he probably need to like win a ring to like just like be one of the greats, I guess. But like I guess it's kind of like Zach Taylor. Like he got to a Super Bowl. Like I do think to like get to a Super Bowl, you have to be like somewhat of a good coach. Like I know some player made some.
You have to be competent. You have to know how to coach.
I know some player
to distinguish how good they are.
Yeah, I know like some player, I think it was on the 49ers, said that anyone can coach this Eagles team. That's just like that's not true. You have to have some level of competency.
Put Nathaniel Hackett in as their coach and see how they do.
That would go great. And like the Broncos roster is stacked, so like surely they won a lot of games. Just did well, right?
Oh yeah.
And they have Russell Wilson. So anyway, well, as we introduce ourselves as depressed and delusional, we are Texans and Panthers fans, and those are the reasons we feel as such. And both of our teams made coaching hires. My team, the third consecutive year. So it basically just became an annual tradition. Like, you have Christmas, you have New Year's, you have the Texans coaching cycle. For you, it was like the Matt Rule experience. Just funny because he came from Baylor, and I actually go to Baylor, and I've actually been like a Baylor fan, so I saw him do well at Baylor. It just didn't pan out in the NFL. So,
he's a college coach, and that's that. He can't coach NFL.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think he's just a very good college coach. I mean, like, off-field stuff aside, just kind of like Urban Meyer. Like, he's a really good college coach. He just, like, doesn't do it well in the NFL. But, yeah, so, like...
He's more like a motivator, really. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't do much with the players. It was
and, like, being a motivator is really helpful in college. But, like, in the NFL, when, like, these guys are 30 and have 3 kids and stuff like that, it's a bit different.
Completely different.
Exactly. Yeah. So my team hired DeMeco Ryans. Your team hired Frank Reich, who came from the Colts.
Best 2 hires of the coaching cycle. I will say that. Easily the best 2 hires.
Best 2 hires, exactly. And I'm familiar with Frank Reich because, the Colts aren't our division. So, like, for whatever that's worth. But I don't know. What do you think, like, what do you think of the coaching hire, Frank Reich?
Oh, man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I was so scared we were going to hire Steve Wilkes because the media was really pushing that narrative that, he got us a 6-6 record. Oh, please forget about that. We got blown out by several playoff teams and could not beat the depleted Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make the playoffs. So I think he was obviously not the answer, in my opinion. So Frank Reich, I like his hire a lot better. And the staff he's brought in is really amazing, so I'm absolutely loving this.
For sure. Yeah, and, like, I agree. And, like, a lot of people, I think, with, like, the Steve Wilkes angle is, like, turning this into racism. Like, we're not going to go there, but, like, it's just, like, it's not just about that. It's like this. So listen to these stats. One coach has a 55% like, winning record and has made the playoffs like several times. The other coach is 9-19. The one with the winning record is Frank Reich, and the one with the losing record is Steve Wilkes. Now,
but Steve Wilkes never got a real chance.
I mean, he did with the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, but there was supposedly like racial prejudice there.
Okay, well, interesting. I mean, yeah, I think
nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I mean, all that to say, I mean, you get 2 shots. I guess he did decent with the Panthers, but, like, I think Frank Reich is just way more qualified than Steve Wilkes. And, like, wait, where's Steve? Is he in San Francisco, or where is he?
They hired him to be their defensive coordinator.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good hire. I mean,
anyone could be defensive coordinator in San Francisco.
Exactly, yeah. We weren't just saying that anyone could coach the Eagles, but yeah, no. I mean, if like if you weren't going to get Vic Fangio, that's actually a good hire for the Niners. But yeah. But no, yeah, I agree. I think Frank Reich is just more qualified just like as a candidate. Was he like the best hire you could have done? Maybe if y'all had Sean Payton, that would be better. But like honestly, he's very solid. I thought like he got unjustly fired because like they were I think they were 3-4. The Colts were when they fired Frank Reich and like.
Hey, no. They made the right choice to fire him. They had to bring on legendary Jeff Saturday to be their coach.
Exactly. Yeah.
Easy call.
The legend. They should have just hired him this coaching cycle. It's like
I'm shocked that they didn't.
It's blasphemous that they didn't. But but like I think like if he had the whole year in Indianapolis, he could have done like good things. But like, yeah, I guess like if you don't have anything else to say about Frank Reich, I can talk about our coaching hire, and basically, it's an overall.
Tell me about Ryan's.
Yeah, it's an overall good hire. JJ Watt said we did it right, so that like that validates everything. But like, I guess like, yeah, the only real pushback I've heard is that we needed to hire an offensive coach for whoever our next young quarterback is going to be. Which the quarterback's not on our roster yet, so like we don't even like know. I mean, we're probably gonna draft a quarterback like Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, but like we're probably gonna have a good young quarterback. And like, yes, I agree the league is trending that way. Like, really, besides Bill Belichick, all the recent Super Bowl winning coaches have been offensive, and the game's leaning offensive. However, here's the thing, and as much. I'm depressed. I'm not delusional. The Texans are not winning the Super Bowl in like the next decade or so. I mean, probably not. Like, I mean, yeah, I would go on that stretch. I mean, for all we know, they may not win the Super Bowl in our lifetime. So like,
Carolina's winning the next 10. So
yeah, exactly. They're just gonna clog up all of our opportunities. I mean, hey, I didn't say we couldn't go to the Super Bowl. We'll lose all those Super Bowls, but yeah. So anyway,
lose 10 in a row.
Exactly. That would more than match the Bills' record of 4 in a row. But yeah. So like, I think at some point you just have to like take the best candidate you can, and like really, besides Sean Payton, which I agree, if we could somehow like just get Sean Payton to come here, that would have been ideal. And apparently he interviewed for us, which I thought was interesting. But if we could get Sean Payton here, that would be the hire. But he's not available. I guess they got hired at the same time, which is kind of interesting. But like, for all intents and purposes, he's not available. So who's the best candidate out there? I'd say like, because you're gonna go like offensive, like, and you have to do a good offensive. You're not just gonna like hire the like Tennessee Titans like throwing coordinator or tight ends coach. It has to have some substance to it. I guess the big names would be like Shane Steichen, who is in our division, so that'll be interesting to see. Ben Johnson was a good candidate, but he was staying in Detroit, and I guess like Mike Kafka, but like I just think D'Amico is the best hire. He was very good in San Francisco, and I mean the whole hometown thing is also pretty cool. He was a former player, linebacker for the Houston Texans. I want to say he was drafted in 2006. Here's a fun fact for you, actually. Do you know who Mario Williams is?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, so in that draft, Mario Williams, because this was one of the times when we sucked and had the number 1 overall pick. Mario Williams was the number 1 overall pick. We drafted him. We drafted D'Amico Ryans in that same class, and D'Amico Ryans won Defensive Rookie of the Year over number 1 overall pick Mario Williams on the same team. So
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I think he just like got injured, which is why he's not like maybe like he's a legend, but like he's probably not a Hall of Famer. I'm guessing probably not.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I think he got traded to the Eagles like on a discount because of that injury, and so but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, like, I know like you need to like get results. Like you can't really like romanticize like hometown hero stuff when like if you're not winning. But I think he'll get the job done somewhat. May take a couple of years. I don't think we have a playoff roster yet, but we have a lot of draft picks because we robbed the Browns. We won the trade with Deshaun by far, and yeah.
As of now.
True. Yeah. Who knows?
I don't want to be that guy, but they could, he could return to superstar level and win a Super Bowl. In which case, did you win the trade?
That's very possible. Yeah, that's very possible.
Hopefully not. I know nobody wants that.
Yeah. I think overall it's good for us anyway, because he wanted out anyway, and we don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl, but we do know that we're going to have, first round picks this year and next year and last year. So yeah, do you have any thoughts about the Texans hire or anything like that?
I think it's a great hire. I think of all the candidates available, he was probably the best one for them, mostly because of his previous relationship with the team.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like you said, most teams are going with offensive coaches. I thought that was the better way to go as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little skeptical about how far he can take the team, but
yeah.
I think really it comes down to who his offensive coordinator is going to be. Like, if he gets a good coordinator, then
we did hire a coordinator. We hired the Niners quarterback coach. For what it's worth, yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Seems like I get it. Bring him with him from San Francisco, but seems like a strange hire otherwise.
And I'm starting to wonder if he's gonna bring Jimmy G with him. He'd be a bridge for sure, but if we can try to win games with him, that would be interesting.
Yes, I can see it now. Sign Jimmy G, draft Will Levis.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the plan.
I guess I don't know if Jimmy G would want to go to Houston, because I feel like with Jimmy G, he's just how do I put it? He's not that great necessarily, but he has a good resume because he's been in a good system, and for what it's worth, he does have 2 Super Bowl rings, which is as many as Mahomes, more than Breeze, more than Rodgers. Did he do anything in the Super Bowls? I don't think so, but Chad Henne has 2 rings as well, but whatever. So yeah, no, but yeah, I agree. I think if we want to like win a Super Bowl, it's probably not going to be with D'Amico, but like I just want to go to the playoffs again. Like I don't care. Our division could suck. We could go like 8-9, but still be first in our division, then get bounced by like the Bills or something like that. Like I just want to be like relevant again, because like ultimately,
right. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that completely.
Yeah, I mean, you guys basically were like until like Tom Brady and Mike Evans just went off that game, but like. Yeah.
I don't know. People weren't talking about us until like that 1 week leading up to the game against.
Yeah, but I think you guys got a glimmer of like relevance and like basically.
Yeah, we got a little bit. I
mean, for us, we like tied the first game against the Colts, who I think a lot of people thought might be good, but then that was just basically it. Yeah, but no, it's like it's interesting. I think that's why we say I'm depressed and you're delusional, because like. You know, like, at least, like, you have, like, some playoff glimmers, and I'm just, like, yeah, just turn the TV off when we allow, like, 5 touchdowns. So, like,
yeah, I have just enough hope to believe that greatness is coming.
Yeah, exactly, and, like, I don't at this point, yeah. I mean, and I'm even, like, at this point, like, what we had with Bill O'Brien, we kind of had it good with him. Like, was he ever going to win a Super Bowl? Probably not, especially after trading Hopkins, but, like, it was a good run, and, like, I think he got a good gig in New England. Anyway, I think we will transition and talk about, because there are also questions about said quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, and apparently Mac Jones is like in question. So like, I figure like, do you have any thoughts about like where Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, and Derek Carr? I think it's confirmed that Derek Carr would not be staying because he got cut. And it's like, whereas the other two, like, staying on their teams is on the table, but with Derek, like, they're not going to cut him, then, like, he's not going to sign back. So we know Derek's going to be on a different team or retire, but I doubt he does that. So, like, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
All right. Yeah, we're going to get some good quarterback movement this offseason. It's going to be exciting. I also feel like there's going to be something completely random. Maybe not a quarterback, but something random's going to happen, something we don't anticipate. Like last year, it was the Tyreek Hill trade, right? Nobody saw that coming, or few did.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Something strange will happen.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that, yeah. for sure.
I don't know where we can start with Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
You know, he's in his darkness retreat.
I think he probably finished it. I think it started Monday, and like he probably just went out. I could be wrong, but like, you know, he's probably been enlightened.
Yeah,
right?
might be near the end at least.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you
I feel
think?
like they'd make a big deal out of it if it was over. You know, we got to make a big deal out of everything he does.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, you know, darkness or not, like, where do you think Aaron Rodgers is going?
He's gonna go wherever the darkness told him to go.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I mean,
XFL star Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Definitely not. Sorry.
He's gonna be in the XFL. It's where the darkness told him.
Oh yeah, he might be okay there.
Yeah.
The XFL has some decent players.
Yeah.
I have no idea who's playing in the XFL. For sure.
Yeah, I think the only name I remember off the top of my head is Josh Gordon. You know, who's been, you know, out of the league for, you know, reasons. But he actually, I feel like he could be very good in the XFL, but like, anyway.
Yeah, probably until he gets banned.
Yeah, exactly. But
I mean, would you be surprised at this point? He's gonna do something.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't know. Do you think like if you had to guess, like put a team to Aaron Rodgers, like he could stay in Green Bay. That's like, you know, a possibility in what he's done the past couple of years. But like, what Jets, Raiders?
Not this time. I doubt he stays this time.
Titans, maybe?
I don't know. It's either the Jets or the Raiders are the most likely from what we've heard. I don't feel like he'd go to the Raiders though. I mean, there are too many questions on defense, and the Jets are a more complete team.
Yeah, I mean, you get to
go play for the Raiders. You have a tough division, so
you get together with Devontae, but like that's just about it. Like they are very dysfunctional. Yeah, because like my original opinion was that he would go to the Raiders because of the Devontae connection, but like I have a new opinion now, and people are gonna be shocked. I don't think he and this team, in the context of next season, are ever in the same sentence. I think he should stay in Green Bay. I think he will stay in Green Bay. Because here's the thing. If you really think about it, and you could try to convince me otherwise, I honestly just thought of this last night. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are just the best fit for each other. Because if you look at it on Green Bay's perspective, their alternative is to... Because if it's not Aaron Rodgers, they're just trying with Jordan Love, right? And like...
Well, they believe in him, so
that's
at
true.
some point they got to give him a shot.
No, that's true, but like if he like pans out, then like that's not gonna be good. Whereas with Aaron Rodgers, you know that like... Now I know he had a down year, but you know you're gonna be relevant with Aaron Rodgers. You just don't know with Jordan Love, and like... And yeah, even if you don't believe in Jordan Love, like why would you like go get a veteran just like when you drafted him? Like at least give him a year. But like, so I feel like on Aaron Rodgers' perspective, the Packers are his best option because like the Raiders are dysfunctional.
That I agree with.
Yeah, the Raiders are dysfunctional. The Jets are dysfunctional. The Bucks, maybe they do have some good receivers, but I feel like with Tom Brady retiring, a lot of people are going to leave. Like, I don't really believe in that spot. The Titans actually do make some sense, but the Titans don't have great receivers, and like, I feel like Aaron, he's also like starting to like get some chemistry with like Christian Watson. So,
yeah,
you know, Titans, I guess they have Traylon Burks, they have Robert Woods, I think, as well, but like. And Derrick Henry, of course, but he's not a receiver. But I guess Tennessee could make some sense, and like, yeah.
Well, if he could go anywhere, I think the best team fit would be San Francisco.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna make that investment. I think Brock Purdy's probably gonna be fine for like. It's either gonna be Brock Purdy or Trey Lance, I would think.
Well, you know, there was this idea at one point before Brady retired, supposedly retired at least. Hopefully he stays retired. There's this idea that they could sign Brady for 1 year and have Purdy, you know, recover from his injury and learn from Brady for a season, and then take over after Brady retires the following year. So that you could do the same sort of thing with Rodgers. You know, have Rodgers sign on a 1 year deal, and then have Purdy sit for a year behind Rodgers, and then there you go.
That's interesting.
Doesn't seem like the worst idea.
Yeah, that probably would be ideal. I just don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I think like it's not gonna be the popular answer. I just think like, and I mean, if he goes to New York or something like that, like I'm all for like seeing it, like just for the storylines and stuff like that. But like my official answer, I think Green Bay Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay. And what about? Do you want to do Lamar next or Derek, or does it really matter to you?
I want to give an answer real quick too. I'm gonna just to get it out there. I'm gonna say he goes to the Jets.
Okay, yeah. I thought you said that at first for some reason, but like, yeah. So you think Jets? I think he just stays in Green Bay. All right. What about?
I mean, honestly, who knows?
Yeah. What about Lamar?
Lamar. Okay, let it be my turn to give a boring answer. I think he stays in Baltimore. I think they're gonna get it together and throw money at him.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what they are without him, and it's not pretty. So they definitely need to make sure that he's around.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, I thought you were gonna say like you thought he was gonna go to the Panthers, but like that's apparently too delusional.
I don't think we're gonna trade all those draft picks for Lamar and then
yeah, like that would be like that would be kind of tricky. Then you're gonna have to pay him, obviously. Like. Yeah, might just be best to, like, get a rookie and just like start over, or not start over, just start from scratch there. Yeah, that's actually. I'll give two boring answers in a row. I also think Lamar stays in Baltimore. I've had that thought for a while, and I'm just like, yeah, because like I mean, with this one, it's like I guess it's the type of thing like Lamar. I feel like, and I could be wrong. I don't think he has as much control over the situation as Aaron Rodgers does with his. So I feel like with Aaron Rodgers, he could just be like, I feel like he and Green Bay like respect each other enough. I know they like maybe they hate each other now according to the media, but like I feel like if Aaron Rodgers really wanted to get traded, he'd request it. And if they don't, he'd probably retire. Whereas with Lamar, like if Baltimore wants to keep him, they're gonna keep him. And then what's Lamar gonna do? Just sit out for a year? Like I don't really like think that's a good thing to do. Like I don't know. I think Lamar's done a bad job negotiating his contract. Like he's like asking
he's
for.
He's not represented, right? He represents.
No,
himself.
he's his own representative.
I think that's probably
and
been a big issue.
And like, of course, it's because of the Deshaun contract. He was given like $230 million guaranteed, and like Lamar wants that money, and it's like.
And thanks, Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
I was like, it's actually kind of funny. I don't know if you really like him, but like I listen to Colin Cowherd sometimes, and he was talking about the whole situation, and he was like, basically going over how like Lamar wants like Deshaun money because like anytime like a quarterback gets paid, they like set a precedent, for like the price. And Colin Cowherd was like, I don't know when Cleveland has ever set a precedent for anything good in the NFL. So kind of sums it up. Yeah, but as you said, who knows? Watson could just like ball out and win the Super Bowl. Like that's not off the table, but like, yeah, I just think like I think if anyone's gonna get Deshaun money, it's gotta be like Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts, one of those.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
Yeah, but like if he's gonna get that type of money, it's gonna have to be elsewhere. But I think the Ravens just like keep him, just like basically just like.
Like you said, if they want him, they're gonna keep him.
Exactly.
It's that simple, I think.
Yeah, and then like randomly, I don't know. I've heard like Lamar to Atlanta rumors. Like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like if he's gonna go anywhere, like the Jets. I also heard like the Bears. I think was it that where like they like trade Lamar for Justin Fields basically, and there's some other like draft capital, but like. I feel like that could make.
Oh, that would be weird.
It makes a little bit of sense because they are both like running quarterbacks, and they can just kind of like trade teams, and maybe
it makes sense for Baltimore, I guess.
Maybe I didn't hear that. I think I just heard Justin Field go to the Baltimore, but I didn't hear Lamar go to Chicago. But I don't know. I think Lamar stays in. I was about to say Green Bay, but I think Lamar stays in. Hey, Aaron Rodgers for Lamar trade.
Rodgers swap places.
yeah, yes. But.
That would be perfect. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what about Derek Carr? Do you think he stays in Las Vegas?
No, he's out of there, right? I think they cut him earlier this week.
Yeah, they did
He's
cut
been meeting
him.
with teams.
Right.
Let's see. I said Rodgers to the Jets. I don't think Carr is going to the Jets.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't think they'd both be going at the same time.
Oh, I think he's probably going to the NFC. He's a smart guy. He knows the NFC is weaker. I could totally see him coming to the NFC South. Tampa, they need a quarterback. Atlanta, they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
New Orleans needs a quarterback. Carolina, I mean, yeah, we definitely need a quarterback. I don't know where exactly. I have a feeling he ends up in the NFC South. I don't think it'll be Atlanta. Probably not. I'm gonna guess he ends up in. Call it a feeling. I have a feeling we sign him. He's gonna go to Carolina. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I actually think that's a good prediction. Yeah, so when I did my predicting the NFL quarterback market thing in our circles, we shall say, I think I had Derek go to the... Oh, yeah, I did have him go to the Seahawks, and I had y'all signing Jimmy G. And, like... I'm actually... Because I haven't really thought about that much. Derek to the Seahawks actually makes sense. I feel like he could succeed there, but I'm not sure if they want to move off of Geno at this point.
No, they got to keep Geno after that season.
Yeah.
They got to keep him there.
I feel like he's going to go... Because the other thing to think about... Yeah, I do think the NFC South makes a lot of sense, because if you can be the best quarterback in that division, you're going to win that division. You know,
you're going to the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, Tom Brady did that. He wasn't even great, but, like, he won the division. So, like... But I think, like... the Panthers makes more sense. Okay, so, like, Falcons doesn't make sense to me. I don't think he wants to go to Atlanta. Maybe Tampa Bay.
Run first team.
Yeah, Tampa Bay maybe, but, like, I feel like Tampa Bay is letting a lot of players go just because of the salary cap situation. Like, they put a lot of money in, like, last season because of the whole Brady thing, and, like, that obviously didn't work out. So I don't know. I don't know specifically which players are leaving.
I think part of this is also how much money he wants, because we have no idea what he wants.
So... Yeah, I think if it comes down to it, because here's my reservation about him going to the Saints. Maybe even not, but like he reunites.
Saints
I think
have no money.
They do have no money, and like he would reunite with Dennis Allen, who I think coached him in Oakland, and I feel like that didn't go well. So like I don't know if it was entirely his fault, but like, do you want to like reunite with Dennis Allen? Like, I'll say it too. I think Panthers makes most sense. So. We both think he's going to the Panthers.
He's a very he fits the mold for what Frank Reich wants in a quarterback. Anyway, he's that prototype.
That's true.
So I could definitely see it.
Yeah, I feel like they would work very well together. I mean, are y'all winning Super Bowls? I you seem to think so, but like, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Okay, realistically, I think we win the division with Derek Carr.
Yeah,
maybe 10, 11 wins. I don't think we win the Super Bowl with him. He's not that type of guy. I don't think.
And like, assuming
I wouldn't be surprised though if he goes somewhere, because kind of reminds me of like Stafford. Puts up numbers,
right?
Often disrespected, throws some interceptions. He's a gunslinger.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't be too surprised.
No, I think Derek Carr can win a Super Bowl on a stacked team. Yeah, and like assuming something like it's not like Derek goes to Carolina, then Lamar goes to Tampa Bay, 'cause like that could change things. But like, yeah, I think if Derek Carr is like in Carolina and like the quarterback situations for the other team hasn't really been like fixed, then like y'all probably do win the division. Maybe not like 13 wins, maybe like 9 to 10 wins or something like that, but it's like that seems pretty realistic. So yeah, for everyone who asked like where we thought the quarterbacks would go, I think Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. You think he's going to New York. We both think Lamar is staying, and we both think he's going to Carolina. Sorry, Derek Carr is going to Carolina. So,
yeah, Lamar is going to stay and go to Carolina. Yep.
I know. Yeah, he's going to have.
I also want to add. I think Mac Jones to the Raiders is very possible.
Oh yeah, because we were going to talk about that Mac Jones. So yeah, apparently you saw the story. Like I didn't like see it, but apparently it came out today that like Mac Jones is like, I don't know. There's like. I don't know. I feel like he just stays in New England.
There are rumors that the Patriots don't think there's that much of a gap between him and his backup, Bailey Zappi. And Bill Belichick reportedly was not pleased with how Mac handled things last season. So, I mean, I could totally see a trade materializing very quickly if somebody wants to take a chance on him.
Yeah, and like I've officially decided that I don't like Mac Jones the player because he's very dirty, and I think just his personality in general is just like he just seems kind of like a brat. Wouldn't you just agree?
I don't know much about his personality, but definitely I've seen.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe not his
I don't
personality,
know.
but I'm just thinking like the like didn't he like twist Brian Burns like ankle or something like that on purpose, and like he just like grabs for defensive players like they're candy or something like that. It's like
Hey! We've seen Tom Brady do some dirty things too.
I don't think to that extent. Like I know he tried to trip someone, but like is he that dirty?
Mm.
Like I mean, he has. I mean, like, and if Deflate is his fault, then like that's obviously something. But like, I think with Mac,
Yeah, I just wanted to take a shot.
of course,
That's all.
I think
That's
no,
all.
I get what you're saying. I think Mac Jones is more obvious. But yeah. Anyway, with that said, we do have Q&A, and so that is how we're going to. Feels weird to say end the show because I don't think we're anywhere near the end yet. But like that's sort of the last segment we have planned, and so. As I mentioned, we did have some questions from our inner circles, and some of the questions, we got a bunch of questions, probably just because of the excitement with the first episode or whatnot. Some of the questions...
I didn't expect that many questions. That's
No, me
crazy.
neither. I mean, some people
Thanks for all the
did...
questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And some people did post the same question. Not the same question, but some of the same people posted different questions, but, like, still a lot of
Yeah, that
questions.
helps.
So what I wanted to do is... basically questions that are about like the past, so like the Super Bowl or maybe even like who's better or whatnot, like we do this episode. And then there were some futuristic questions like I don't know, like will Patrick Mahomes be the next Tom Brady? You know, like I think we'll probably save that for a future episode. But yeah, how we'll do it, I'll basically just like I have the questions here, so I'll just like ask you. I mean, we'll both give our opinions. So Isaac, do you think Kenneth Walker was robbed of Offensive Rookie of the Year? And do you think Sauce really deserved Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I'm gonna go yes with both of those. Like Walker was absolutely robbed. I don't know how he didn't win it. Honestly, you gave who won? It was the Jets receiver.
It was
Wilson,
yeah, Garrett
right?
Wilson, yeah.
I mean, he was barely better than Chris Olave, and he didn't even he wasn't a finalist. So
Yeah.
seems a bit of a stretch to say that.
Yeah, I thought that
He
was
was
super
better.
random as well. Yeah, we can get to Sauce in a minute, but like and like not to like make this like because I actually know for a fact we disagree on this, and like not to make this a debate show, but I think Brock Purdy should have won the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Basically, I think that like if the 49ers have like a sucky quarterback who goes like 2-4, like their season is like looked at differently. So I think the argument people make is that Brock Purdy didn't play all 17 games, but he had a big impact as the quarterback. So like I don't know. And we'll have like debate shows later. Like we've kind of like planned that sort of stuff, but like I think that Brock Purdy got robbed. If not Brock Purdy, then like I thought that Garrett Wilson winning was a little bit random. Like maybe robbed is strong, but like he probably was like the most like because like I guess maybe he could have been like a big reason why like Seattle was so good. I mean like just because they had a very consistent run game with like Kenneth Walker. They also have those good receivers, DK and Tyler, but yeah.
Seattle actually made the playoffs too. I thought that was going to be what swayed the result. Like Seattle
That's
made
true.
the playoffs. New York fell apart. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that just seemed random. That's what I would say. So you think Sauce did deserve the Dorati Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I think that was probably the right call. Although I do go on record saying I think he is overrated.
Mhm.
I don't think he's elite yet.
Yeah.
He had a very good season. There were also a lot of plays where the refs just did not call PI. So
Yeah.
you know, I think he's overrated, but he definitely deserved defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I would
What about
I would probably agree he's like a bit overrated, and like I think even like just him having the nickname Sauce like might like have some bias to it. So to anyone hoping to go to the NFL, just have like a cool nickname, and then people are gonna love you. Award makers are gonna love you. But so because here's what I did. Like I like and I'm not like that like I think Sauce winning is like fine, but like I looked this up, and I know this is not the most important, or it probably is the most important, but it's not the only stat for like cornerbacks. Do you know how many interceptions Sauce Gardner and Tariq Woolen had? Do you happen to know that or about?
I don't know, but I think it was pretty close between the two of them.
It was not close. Sauce Gardner had 2 interceptions. Sauce had 2. Tariq had 6. So now I do know there are like some other factors, like maybe Tariq doesn't make as many big plays as Sauce does or whatnot, but like I would think based on that, and Seattle made the playoffs and Sauce didn't. So you can make an argument that it was the Seattle who should have had both the offensive and defensive rookies of the year instead of New York. But yeah, I think like I don't know, I think Tariq was a little bit more like deserving of that award maybe than Sauce just based on the play. But honestly, I don't really have like a big like objection to it. So
if we're also talking about impact on their own teams, then Tariq probably had more of an impact with Seattle's defense than Sauce had on New York's defense.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, yeah, because ultimately, I do think interceptions is probably the most important stat for a cornerback. It's not like, you know, everything, but like, yeah, that just kind of
pretty important.
What's that?
I said it's pretty important.
Oh, it's very, very important. Sure. Yeah, for sure.
That should be a big deal if the interception is 6-2, right? That's
right.
What you said?
Yeah, I'm assuming I researched that correctly, but
Sauce had 2.
Yeah, Sauce had 2, Tariq had 6.
Yeah, that's a decent difference, I would say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like that should have been a factor.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully it was a factor.
Yeah. All right, so we already talked about if the refs ruined the Super Bowl. Here's a good question. Do you think the 49ers would have beat the Eagles in the NFC title game if they had Jimmy G playing as their quarterback? So I guess say like Brock Purdy got hurt and then they were able to put Jimmy G in.
Okay, well, I think we can both agree on this. Purdy was playing better than Jimmy G, right? I mean, after he took over, they were playing better.
That's part of why I think he should have been Offensive Rookie of the Year, because he played very good. But anyway, go ahead.
If we're saying that they would win if they had Jimmy G playing, then we would also say that they would have won if Purdy played the whole game.
Yeah,
healthy.
I would agree with that.
And I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I don't think okay. You can say they could have won. Obviously, we don't know what would have happened. But to say that they should have won, that they would have won, is it's a bit too far. I mean, we saw how it played out. We can't really make any claims that they would have won if Purdy was healthy. But they could have won. They could have. Possible. I don't think we can say that they would have won. No?
Yeah. I basically have the same take. Like, it probably wouldn't have been 38-7, but like I think the Eagles were probably just a better team anyway. And like, yes, maybe in like one-off game. Like if it was a series, maybe it's like 6-4 or something like that. But like, I think like, no, I think Eagles probably still win that game. Yeah, I would. And like Jimmy, yeah, I mean like, I don't know. I mean Jimmy's all right, I guess. So no, that's actually
he's solid.
Yeah, that's some good insight actually. I mean like, Jimmy's not like gonna be the second coming of Christ or anything like that. So I think like, yeah, I think it probably would have been the same result. Was that Pickens catch the catch of the year? I'm thinking probably not. I think there might be a catch.
That was like, an insane catch.
It was insane.
Sure, but I would give catch of the year to Justin Jefferson.
Like, yeah, very difficult choice. No, I'm joking. It's not a difficult choice, but it's just like, yeah, because like, I think with Justin Jefferson, it's just everything, like the game situation. Like he had one hand and like
10 game on the line, right?
Exactly. Whereas I think the Pickens, it was like a second or something like that, second down or something like that. It's like mid game, just like
early in the game.
It was a very cool. It was a very cool catch, but like, yeah, it's just like something we should do in the future. Like when we have off season stuff and we're bored, we should just like like rank the top catches of the season. Like obviously Jefferson was number 1, but like we could like do something that could be interesting. I guess with a podcast, like people can't like see the catch, but they could look it up. It's an interesting concept. So yeah, we think that the Justin Jefferson catch was the better catch, but that was a pretty cool catch. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, at the time, the Pickens catch probably was the catch of the year. I think I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
as
yeah,
much
for
in our
sure,
inner
for sure.
circles.
Right. Is Devon Bush as bad as people make him out to be?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Probably
I
not,
don't know.
because people love to exaggerate, and the media loves pushing narratives like that. So probably not as bad as
Yeah,
people
I'm
say.
like, and this is like a Steelers fan within our circles that is asking these questions about Pickens and Devon Bush. I did look him up a little bit. I think he only has like 2 career sacks or something like that. Maybe it's more than that, but like he hasn't like performed. So I'm thinking probably like maybe if he goes on a different system, he's like better, but like he's probably just gonna like pan out and just be like a career backup. He's a linebacker, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Think.
So
I haven't
yeah.
watched a ton of Steelers games.
No,
not
yeah,
gonna
like
lie.
honestly, I've just heard of Devon Bush, and probably for good reason. He's not that good, probably. Okay, relative to you and me, he's like a freak of an athlete, but like, yeah. This was an
Yeah,
interesting.
we would die out there.
Right, exactly. This is an interesting question, actually. Would you take, and I guess for this we can say just for our respective teams, so for you, the Panthers, for me, the Texans, would you take the combination of Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert or Jamar Chase and Jalen Hurts?
Hmm. That's tough. So Jefferson is definitely the better receiver between the two.
Right.
And then who is that first quarterback?
Jefferson and Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I go with them. For Carolina, at least, I think that's a better fit for our offense. That would be perfect, honestly. Like, we go into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. I think for Houston, I like Jamar and Hurts a little bit better. Cause like
I agree with that for Houston.
I'd say like Justin Jefferson. Oh, actually, when I thought about this, I think I got them mixed up because like for some reason I thought we were getting Jefferson out of that, but it's Jamar. Yeah, that's fine. So another point I thought about is that Jefferson's a little bit more durable than Jamar. Now it's not like Jamar has this insane injury history, but he did miss some games. But I think the thing with Jamar is that he can like he took over that like Bengals Chiefs game, like AFC Championship game, like I think even the game like before they played some game in the regular season, and like I want to say Jamar had like 300 receiving yards or something like that. It's like he can take over games, and like I think with Jalen Hurts, like you get someone who's like tough, he can like run and just like, and he's from Texas, so he's probably just a better fit. Like Justin Herbert, he's obviously very good, but I think for the Houston Texans, I think Jalen Hurts is a better fit, and then like Jamar. I mean, yeah, Justin Jefferson's insanely good, but like I would take that combination.
Yeah, that's better for Houston, I would say. I agree with that.
I'd say just probably for like most teams, I'm guessing probably Jefferson and Herbert's probably just better. Would you agree with that?
Well, I don't know. If we also factor in money, it might be cheaper to take on Chase and Hurts since they are both younger. So you can delay paying them both.
Well, Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts were in the same draft class. They're both about to get paid.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. Actually.
No, I mean Jefferson's like
my bad.
Jefferson's a year ahead of Jamar, so like, but they're both they're all about to get insanely paid.
Right. Well, who's going to be paid the most? That would be a bigger question as well.
Probably.
I mean, Jefferson is probably getting more than Jamar.
Yeah, it could come down to though like who gets paid first or last, because like if Jefferson gets paid first, Jamar could try to like lap him. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be it's probably around the same, honestly. Maybe like a little bit more expensive one way or the other, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe not a huge difference.
Right.
I don't know. I guess if we factor out the money, probably most teams prefer Jalen and Jamar simply because Jalen was just in the Super Bowl, and then Herbert, not having a ton of playoff success for the Chargers. That's true. Of course, they're the Chargers, so not really his fault.
Yeah, I think
that's cursed.
Yeah, I think for most teams it's probably Herbert and Justin Jefferson, because like I think Justin Herbert's really good. I mean, you can't really tell that much because he's on the Chargers. He's really good, and Justin Jefferson's also.
Yeah, look up his stats. He's insane.
Oh yeah, he's insane for sure. It's crazy how like Tua got taken ahead of him. That's just a crazy overall
I mean,
narrative.
Tua was doing really well too before all his injuries.
I mean, he needed Tyreek Hill, but yeah, he was doing pretty good. But like, I think Justin, Justin Herbert. I think that was the better choice. Justin Herbert and Justin. I didn't even realize they have the same name, Justin and Justin. They do, right? Yeah, I'm not insanely crazy. I might be depressed, but I'm not.
No, you're moderately crazy.
There we go. All right, and this last one, now, I couldn't tell contextually what this question meant. I don't know if it was talking about for like last season or like this coming season. So the question is, biggest underperformer, overperformer, and underdog. This might be in reference to next season, but I can't really tell. But like, we could answer who we thought our biggest over and underperformers were at least. I think it's like underdog, but like.
Go for this season and then answer for next season too.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, yeah, no, we can do that. So, do you have any thoughts?
Biggest underperformer of the 2022 season. I mean, Kenny Golladay is pretty high up there.
Yeah, I thought maybe, yeah, we could do like player. I was thinking like teams, honestly, but like we
we're
could,
thinking teams. Oh, okay.
We could do players as well. We could do like
easier.
Players and teams. Yeah, Kenny Golladay was like.
The question didn't specify, did it?
Yeah, it was. The question was a little bit vague, but like, yeah, I think we can just take this however we want.
We should be smart enough to figure it out. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So as a player, you think Kenny Golladay. What about like as an underperforming team?
Underperforming team.
It's got to be the Broncos, right?
Yeah, they're pretty high up there. Yeah, probably the Broncos. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people were picking them to win the division. Some people said they'd win the Super Bowl.
No, like, people started talking about how crazy the division was when Russell Wilson went to Denver. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything obvious, but, like, you know who was really underperforming given their past couple of seasons previously? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
They were like, like Brady's getting older, but like they went off. I think they won 13 games the previous year. Like they were just insane last year and the year before, obviously. So like, probably Denver. Denver was just a colossal error.
Yeah, at least Tampa made the playoffs.
That's true. Yeah, at least they did. What about like overperformer? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Minnesota. Definitely Minnesota.
Yeah, I would have thought that as well, although I do think you could see it coming with, like, a new offensive coach and, like, those good players. I was thinking the Giants, like, everyone thought they were dog water, and they just, like, fought their way into the playoffs. Jacksonville as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York has less talent as well. So probably New York, you're probably right.
Yeah, because I think the thing with New York is, like, besides Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, can you name 5 players on the Giants?
I mean, I probably could, yes.
Oh, you do it.
Besides which players?
Besides Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, yeah.
Okay, Kenny Golladay.
Okay, that's a good start.
Let's see, Andrew Thomas, he's our offensive tackle, I believe.
Okay.
Azeez Ojulari, he's a defensive player.
Okay, I don't know who that is. So that's good for.
He's from Georgia, so that's kind of.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Evan Neal, they drafted him last year.
That's true.
And Kayvon Thibodeau, they drafted him last year.
Good job. You exceeded my expectations. You didn't forget about Dexter Lawrence.
Were too low.
You forgot about Dexter Lawrence, who's like very good. But
is he still there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah. No, you're good. No, you named 5. That's actually very good. Now, granted, 2 of them were rookies, but like that's fine. Yeah, I guess like
who didn't do all that well.
Yeah, I mean, like I think
okay, Kayvon did well.
Yeah, I mean Darius Slayton's on the team as well. They have Wan'Dale Robinson, I believe. Obviously Kenny Golladay. Yeah. Who's their backup quarterback? Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, Tyrod Taylor's their backup quarterback.
Is he really? He's
in
New York?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
It is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So, But yeah, you can even. I mean, I know you did, but it's hard to like just come up with like impact players on like the Giants. But because I think what's impressive is
that's nearly impossible.
What Brian Daboll did with that roster, and just like imagine if he just like spends some money. Well, I know the coach doesn't, but imagine if he spends some money in free agency. Like it's just gonna be like crazy. I guess we'll see what they do at quarterback, but yeah. Anyway, those were like all the questions. Like there are some other questions that we will move to next episode. So if we didn't get to your questions, that's that's fine. We will just move it to the next episode, even though I just said that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's been a good episode, Isaac, or shall I say delusional. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Panthers going to the Super Bowl next year. I'm speaking it into existence. It's going to happen. Don't doubt me. I'm not that delusional.
Yeah, so are the Texans. I didn't have specified if it was XFL or whatnot, but yeah. Texans going to the XFL Super Bowl. All right.
Did they call it the Super Bowl in the XFL?
Probably not. They'd probably call it something else.
I don't think they'd be allowed to.
Houston Texans versus Houston Roughnecks Super Bowl. That's how we do it.
Roughnecks are going to win.
Well, yeah, before we go, I'd like to thank our sponsors who do not exist. We really appreciate you doing work with us. And yeah, we will try to put this out weekly. So I will see you for the next episode. Bye.
And I'll see you in our inner circles. See y'all.
There we go.